That's your local weather on the 8th. So we didn't choose Monday. Monday chose us. Let's just make it amazing and let's get it started. We've got a rainy ride to talk about this morning along I-95 today. This is your drive into work, and we're going to take you live on the road. Philly to New York, getting a super soaker this morning. Already an inch of rain in some places. And into D.C., by the time you get home, we also have thunderstorms lighting up your path. So a Torcana 4 for the region. Some of the highest storm chances of the day today. Marathon Monday, that rain heading up into Boston. 9:30 this morning. Time those first showers, but there's going to be a lot of rain and wind that gets there. It's going to be a wet run for the 30,000 that will take the street. And we give you a show of support this morning for Boston Strong. Hey, southern severe storms, lightning streaking through the skies, ominous clouds in Arkansas, 2 tornadoes hitting yesterday with severe weather from Texas to Carolina. And today, the threat of more severe storms on the way. Let's check in with Dr. Greg Postel for more on the Torcon in the mid-Atlantic and barely getting into the Northeast. This is important.
Yeah, it's up to 4 in parts of New Jersey and Pennsylvania later on this afternoon. And guess what? Here's why. More big storms coming in. 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon, we'll see them scattered about Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia. All that stuff moves eastward to the coast, guys. So watch out. It could be a busy evening through the rush hour in the I-95 corridor with some severe weather possible. Sam, back to you.
That's going to be a big story today because folks are not used to that rumbling of thunder lightening up their skies now. All right, and it goes from rain today to a little sunshine to storm, so please pay attention there. Those storms on the move heading east after pounding the southern plains over the weekend. Look at this. Huge hail raining down on Texas. We had numerous hail reports from multiple states over the weekend. This is in Spring, a suburb of Houston, where we saw reports of hailstones just as large as golf balls. In the Houston area, picking up nearly 4 inches of rain since Friday. What a weekend. And we've been sending the pictures, or you've been sending the pictures in of the hail, measuring it. And you can see when we say golf ball size hail, hey, just throw a golf ball in the hand with the hailstones and it says everything right there. We got this picture of ping pong size hail as well, and baseball size hail in a lot of locations. Similar story in Arkansas. This picture coming out of Hot Springs. We had reports of hail as big as baseballs falling there as well. Heavy rain leading to flash flooding problems in parts of Alabama. And the roads this morning, even in North Georgia, are wet. Drivers on I-20 near Oxford riding the brakes while that torrential rain fell down. More than a ½ inch of rain yesterday. And it will continue this morning, by the way. The roads are already backed up in a lot of locations. We'll show you that. Tennessee, also into eastern Kentucky, getting some of that rain this morning. And in the southwestern Ohio, an elderly woman was crushed to death in her car by falling trees. Numerous reports of falling trees and downed power lines in the winds of the storms of the weekend. 4 feet in diameter. The Cincinnati area saw 3/4 of an inch of rain yesterday. Eyewitnesses say this woman slowed down to let another driver turn in front of her, and a dry rotted tree fell right across her car. All right, it's shaping up to, so just be careful out there. It's shaping up to be another wet drive this morning. Louisville, we're going to see some scattered storms and showers in your forecast area. Here you are right now, partly cloudy skies to cloudy skies at about 59 degrees. 3/4 of an inch of rain yesterday. It's a soggy, windy trek to work in New York City. There's Louisville's 3-day, by the way, and we're back into more rain by the time we get into Wednesday. The forecast for New York, right now we've got the clouds in, and we're timing that rain to be moving up. So we've got showers in Philly this morning as well. DC's had a good amount of rain. New York, you'll get some a little bit later this morning, not far away really. And then we'll kick in those storms later on today. So I just want you to be cautious. It's also one of the things you're going to notice today, walking through the city, the winds howling, whistling through those buildings. So be ready for that in the city as well today. Rain this morning giving way to a severe storm threat spanning more than 1,000 miles today. The storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, is in to time it out for you this morning. Hey, Greg, who needs to watch out for storms?
Well, everybody all the way from New York down south to the Gulf Coast, Florida Gulf Coast. Let's have a look at the area that is at risk for seeing some severe weather. Again, really covers a large part of the East Coast. Here on the map, you can see that we've got really from Philly all the way down to D.C., Charleston, Jacksonville, even locations farther inland from there has a shot at some severe weather. The surface analysis this morning, not really that complicated. Right now, we've got some sort of generic showers and maybe even a rumble of thunder here, but no severe up there in the Northeast. There's a little batch of showers and thunderstorms here across parts of Mid-South. That is going to weaken during the afternoon hours, and let's have a look. We have one severe warning with that. This is in North Georgia, in White County, for the possibility of producing some quarter-size hail and some gusty winds just to east of Dahlonega, moving toward parts of Northeast Georgia, like, for example, in Gainesville. So watch out for some gusty winds and maybe some small hail. The kicker, guys, comes in a little bit later on this afternoon. You see this little swirly out here? Maybe on the satellite pictures it doesn't look like much, kind of a smallish thing. But I'll tell you what, this upper level disturbance means business because it's going to be moving out later on today, out across the region, across, I would say, the Mid-South, perhaps even the Ohio Valley, in an air mass that is going to get more and more unstable. With the dew points, the humidity on the rise, that's more fuel for thunderstorms, and let's time it out. You can see the thunderstorms pop up back out in here in the seemingly clear air in the early afternoon. But that's a sign that the air mass is ready and ripe for thunderstorm production, Sam. Here it comes through Pittsburgh, D.C., 5, 6 o'clock. It's likely going to get into the New York, Philly, I-95 corridor by 8 or 9 o'clock. Severe weather is possible. I think the primary modes would be hail and high winds, but you can't rule out the possibility of a tornado, so stay tuned for all the latest. Sam, back to you.
Don't let that sunshine fool you. When you get it today, it's storm fuel.
That's it.
So just think about that. I know you're going to have some clouds and rain to deal with in the morning. When you get the sunshine, you're going to think, hey, we're done. You're not done. The storms come in later on this afternoon. Philly, you have our highest Torcon value today. It's a 4, which means there's a 40% chance of seeing a tornado within 50 miles of where you live. Our Reagan Medji is starting the day with the commuters. And Reagan, that is pouring, soaking rain. When I saw your live shot in Woo-Wah this morning, I'm like, why is she standing in the pouring, soaking rain in a warehouse district in Philly? But you're actually over 95, right?
Yeah. So I'll just cut to the chase. Yeah, I'm in what we call Old City in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're going to look at I-95. This is what your commute looks like, people, right here. People are going to work on I-95. And we're also going to look at people walking to work. So, Matt, I'm going to have you actually walk this way with me. You can see this is what you're going to have to do, Philadelphia residents, if you're going to be braving the storm today. Yes, the winds, they pick up every now and again. You'll see the waves of rain going with that. Now, the rain today, this rain is going to be sticking around until 10 o'clock today in the morning. And then it kind of goes away for a little bit. We're going to walk over this way because you're going to see all of this wetness. This is all sticking around. And then around 4 o'clock this afternoon, all the way until 10, that's when the severe stuff comes. The possibility of tornadoes in the Philadelphia area, all the way south, southeast, down to Jersey. And, of course, D.C., you're going to be on the alert as well. Now, we want to look at some traffic cams. Also in Philadelphia, we're going to look at the traffic cam right now. You can see that's the city proper in Philadelphia, what the traffic looks like now. Again, it's Monday morning, Monday commute. Let's bump down to D.C. because we're all over the place here at the Weather Channel. Washington, D.C., you can see the same thing, traffic moving and dealing with what they have to do through the rain. So, of course, we're going to be here throughout the morning in different spots throughout Philadelphia and show you how commuters are dealing with this sloppy, wet, rainy mess. Guys, back to you.
And then storms this afternoon. Reagan Medji, whether you're walking to work or driving to work, she's got your forecast. She's so prepared, she's got all her notes in a Ziploc bag. Yeah. I love that. It's the smartest thing to do when you're in the field because everything, you can read it, Jen, everything stays dry. It's right.
Yeah, I have to tell you, Reagan Medji, she'd be great, like traffic, you know, always throwing those hand signs down. She could really regulate stuff on the roadways. All right, let's look at the forecast for parts of the South. It is really going to be all about the front as we show you for today. Right now, it's quiet across parts of Florida and really southern parts of Georgia, but we do have that severe thunderstorm warning out there, and we time this out for you. Before we go throughout the afternoon, here comes that front. We start to see some development kicking off towards the west. By about 5 o'clock, we'll start to see a few more of those arriving across parts of Alabama. Again, these storms developing with that afternoon heating. As we show you 9 p.m. at night, things start to fizzle out for the southeast. Today, notice severe weather threat. We've got a good chunk. This is different than just being in the southeast like Louisiana, Mississippi. We're really talking about areas, including parts of the mid-Atlantic. Of course, we'll be focusing on that. Torcons from inland in North and South Carolina and central Georgia right around a 3 today. And again, we're looking at those areas across parts of the Carolinas. Sam, we'll send it right back over to you.
Welcome back, Jen, in shocking bright pink to get you ready for your Monday. Hey, we're going to time out the storms and the rain for the Boston Marathon.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. 1 to 2 inches of rain expected. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 72. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Nine minutes past the hour. Hey, good morning to you. We're going to say hello to you first, Charlotte. Hello, America, and good morning, Charlotte. Hey, 64 degrees to start our day. The rain is racing toward us this morning as we head through the day. We do have a chance of severe weather. We got a torcon of 3 in the forecast.
Yeah, you know, and we're also looking at some areas of right around 4. Pretty unusual for this time of the year, especially across parts of the Mid-Atlantic. Severe weather threat is going to be great out there today, and we want to look at other areas too across parts of the southeast. They're saying, where is the sun?
Yeah, and we're finally going to get it. For the southeast, you're going to get a shot at some sunshine. Hey, today's severe weather threat comes after huge hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes rip through parts of the south. And Arissa Rodriguez has a look at what's left behind the storms. Good morning, A-Rod.
Good morning, guys. That's right. A lot of people asking, when is this rain going to end? A weekend spent inside for most of the southeast due to severe storms stretching from Texas to South Carolina yesterday. An all-day impact. Sunday morning starts with 2 confirmed EF1 tornadoes in East Alabama. Trees and power lines down. Rail cars blown right off their tracks. As the storms move into South Georgia, fallen trees cut through homes. The Atlanta metro area dodges the worst of the severe weather, but not the heavy rain, an inch for the day in several spots. It was the 53rd rainy day in a row for Atlanta. The city has not seen a stormy stretch this long since 1891, long before the city saw its first car. And we are hearing word this morning that an Atlanta woman was killed during these storms early this morning after a large oak tree fell on her house. So these storms definitely dangerous.
This was a rough weekend, and I just want people to be thinking about it, because these big trees that make neighborhoods so desirable, when they come down on top of cars and buildings, they can really do a lot of damage. Just be aware that that's one of the reasons why not to be out in the winds and the storms.
And I must mention, sorry to interrupt you guys, that Atlanta's record of 53 days of rain in a row tied for 3rd on the all-time list.
Right. And the ground is so wet.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, when you see those power lines and the trees coming down, and we're just so saturated, and it just doesn't have anything to hold on to.
Because you're right, because the ground's so wet that everything's ready to come over. Hey, Atlanta, let's give you your 3-day quickly. We still have some storms. When do we get full-on sunshine? We get it Tuesday, we get it Wednesday.
Yay!
If all of us in the southeast that have been waiting for full days of sun, here it comes, Tuesday and Wednesday. Every reason to get excited. Hey, we'll take you live into Boston. It's Marathon Monday, and what is it, like 30,000 people are going to be headed in to make the run. Right. So let's get into Jay Gray and his story in the area, because he's there. Jay, are you with us?
I am, Sam. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, it's racing against the rain, really. I mean, skies are dry right now, but by 9:30 you'll start to see your first showers, and then you've got some wind and rain moving in by noon.
Yeah, you know, you talk to the runners, there'll likely be no personal record set here, but they don't mind that weather. Not going to be above 50 today for the most part. We're going to have that rain that's going to get steady, as you talk about, around noon, and that's going to keep them going out here. The key for a lot of the runners, at least what they tell me, Sam, is that how you gear up. How much gear do you wear? How much do you shed? What can you do with those winds, as you talk about? So it's going to be kind of chilly with the rain and the wind, but they're excited about this race. It comes 2 years after the attacks here, and so they know it's vitally important that it's a journey that's much more than the 26.2 miles that they're really running for not only themselves but this entire community, the survivors, the families, everyone involved. It's just a very special day here.
All right, Jay, and a lot of us are thinking about that day, and a lot of us are thinking about folks there today. Jay Gray will be there all day to make sure that we see what's going on in the Boston area. And Arissa, I know one of the things you were proudest of this morning when you walked in. You might have to hold it up, though. I don't think
they took a tight shot of it. But this is the 2010 official jacket of the Boston Marathon when I was living out in Boston. And if I could give it to one of the runners today, I would. Because they're going to need it.
Did you run the marathon?
No, I said I was there.
I never ran. Right, clarify. I just wanted to find out. You're like, I was there.
Keyword.
I was
there.
You set a record.
I was around the area. Here's your hourly forecast today, and this is critically important because as you head out the door to get ready for your run, it's likely you're not going to be doing your best times today. You've just got to realize that you're going to be running in some sloppy conditions, and there's a lot of wind that kicks in with the heaviest rain that moves in just anywhere between 11:30 and noon. That's when you get this wave of heavy rain and strong winds, and it'll stay with you for the rest of the day on the course. So early in the morning, light and scattered showers. By about 9:35 is when it starts, but boy, will you need all the heavy rain gear later.
And that causes that drag for those runners out there too when you have that wind. It just slows you down.
You just get your head down and you're trying to go
and
through
it's
it.
happening when you get to Heartbreak Hill, which is right before the summit, right before the end. So our minds are with you, our thoughts are with you. Keep sending us those pictures for the Boston Marathon along the route if you're cheering them on. Use the hashtag April Showers. But let's talk about the storms that just barreled through the south yesterday. We had over 130 hail and wind reports from the SPC. This is storm damage at Pleasant Valley High School in Alabama. You can see just sidings peeled off of the building and blown right into what seems to be a workshop or a workspace. And then this incredible image.
Look at that. Move the words. Why am I not thinking banner today? Move those words.
Look at the draw.
Look at the rain shaft right out of those clouds. That is an incredible image.
Gorgeous photo there.
Yeah, all right. And when you see that coming, you're just like, oh, this is not a good day.
Let me get out of Dodge.
We'll have plenty of those to look at today. Thick black smoke, though. We need to talk about some of these fires. Florida's got some. California's got some. You're looking at Miami, just outside of Miami, and we're going to take a check on that fire.
良質熟練の技革新1000年の歴史を持つ文化が最先端の製造技術を使うと待てよあれこれってクライスラー
Reliability is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import. Find it at Chrysler.com.
We make meeting times, lunch times, and conference times. But what we'd rather be making are tea times. Tea times are the official start of what we love to do. The time for shots we'd rather forget, and the ones we'll talk about forever. In Michigan, long days, relaxing weather, and more than 800 pristine courses make for the perfect tea time. Because being able to play all day is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
As former firemen, we learned the key to doing a great job was to work well together.
It's also the key to making a great sandwich.
Take our turkey bacon ranch sub, piled high with smoked turkey breast, sharp cheddar cheese, creamy peppercorn ranch, then top with bacon.
Or try our hook and ladder light. Starts at just $5.49. Like all our subs, a perfect balance of ingredients working well together.
If only you and your barber could work so well together.
At least I still need one. Please.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
Al Jazeera America Morning News. Start your day with a view of the world. Catch up on what happened overnight with a full morning brief. A fast-paced look at the top stories shaping your day.
Sending a strong message to the rest of the world.
Stories with impact, news with importance.
People gotta have water.
Get a first-hand look with in-depth reports and investigations. And the latest from the worlds of science, tech, health, and culture. No matter where you are in the country, start weekdays with Al Jazeera America Morning News, Channel 107.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
And if you're watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Flonase Allergy Relief. You are greater than your allergies.
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. This changes everything. New Flonase outperforms a leading allergy pill, so you will inhale life. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. Most allergy pills only control one substance. Flonase controls 6, and 6 is greater than 1. So roll down your windows, hug your pet, dust off some memories, make new ones. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. 1 to 2 inches of rain expected. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 72. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back. Right now, you're looking at a live view of Indianapolis. 59 degrees, rainy conditions out there. Right now, it's 19 minutes past the hour. If you're running a little late this morning, get it out the door after AMHQ. Now, we are going to see some showers actually moving out by late afternoon, but temperatures are going to be cool for this time of the year, and people are going to say, wait a minute, we're supposed to be done with that cold weather.
We need to talk about this because it's something you may not be expecting. There's about 9 days of colder than normal air that's headed into the Midwest right now. It's not brutally cold, but you're going to notice that it's chilly for spring.
It's spring.
Yeah.
We want warmer temperatures.
And at least the skies will be pretty. The skies will be pretty. So let's start with Wausau.
Nice and blue.
A little bit of rain and snow in the mix in there. As you go through the day today, notice that temperature take a dive.
And then we'll see another chance of some snow showers around again tomorrow morning. Of course, we'll be here tracking that with you. As we show you what's happening on the reader, we have this big upper low spinning through parts of the Great Lakes.
Just check out that number right there. Notice that 39, Minneapolis, and you're thinking to yourself, that's a little bit colder than it should be, and that's true. And that's a sign of the air that's going to pour in behind this thing as it starts to shift east.
And we move throughout the afternoon. By the time you are driving home, look at this from Minneapolis. You're only going to see a high of 49 degrees. And then for Chicago, 52 degrees. All these areas below average. The only warm area is going to be Detroit, and they're going to get some of that warm front action still there. But look at this. As we go throughout the day and through the early week, we're going to dry things out.
Right.
High pressure built in.
Watch that shield of rain move into the northeast today and the mid-Atlantic. That's where you get your afternoon storms coming from. And then this cold air pours in. But take a look at how long. And I can say cold because it's a little bit colder than normal. But it's not going to be brutal. Like you're not going to go, oh, this is miserable. It's actually nice weather. Most of you will feel like this is a great time. You'll have great looking skies. The temperatures will be a little bit cooler than you would normally expect. So let's say 60 degrees is the normal mark. And you've got days where you're just below it.
Right, but keep in mind, this is coming from the man from Miami. He says cold.
I like it. Yeah, I know.
The 50s.
I think cold.
We want to add another 30 degrees to the temperature.
I do. All right, Dr. Greg, let's dig into this, the severe storms today. Mid-Atlantic on high alert.
Yeah, we're going to have some big storms, I think, all the way from the I-95 corridor in the northeast down to the Gulf Coast. But you know what? It's going to be like what we saw, I think, last night across parts of Arkansas. Check this video out. These are some lightning strikes and some big storms that moved across Arkansas late in the evening and in the overnight hours when it was getting dark. And you see we had some chasers out there doing some chasing at night, which I always think is kind of a dangerous thing because you don't know what's hiding sometimes in those clouds. And some of these lightning strikes, I'll tell you what, they're illuminating some dangerous parts of some of these storms. There's a wall cloud in there. Boom, can you see that? That gets flashed out there. There's a little bit of a wall cloud that is illuminated by these lightning strikes, which means there's a possible tornado in there. We don't think there was, but it's just one of those things you don't want to be doing, chasing at night. I've done some of it, unfortunately, and I can tell you firsthand, don't do it. So let's have a look at the severe weather threat here across parts of the east, really all the way from, as I said, the mid-Atlantic down to the Gulf Coast. All modes are in play. I think the primary hazards, though, would be hail and high winds, so you can't rule out the possibility of a tornado. And if you look at the surface analysis right now, it's really not that complicated. We have some showers and thunderstorms along and near a warm front. Those are not severe, and they won't become severe. I think this batch of storms and showers right here is weakening, so we can sort of move that along into the Carolinas and not really worry about it so much. We have to turn our attention to what's happening later on this afternoon. You can see a little swirly there right out over here across parts of the Mid-South, moving through Tennessee. This is an upper-level circulation. And why it's important is because they go along and just ahead of them, they tend to lift the atmosphere. And it's going to be doing that today across an atmosphere that's going to be getting more and more unstable. We're going to see the dew points creep up a little bit. They're already pretty high, Nashville 55, but that's kind of the energy source for the thunderstorm. So we're going to see a lot more of that, a lot more energy, a buoyant energy come into play across the region, helping to make those thunderstorms big and tall and strong. And look, if you go by the early afternoon hours, we're going to see thunderstorms breaking out across the region. This is in advance of that upper level swirly moving through, and these storms could be severe. Hailers, I think, is again going to be a real risk today. Perhaps some large hail, maybe up to a ½ inch, maybe more than that. Gusty winds for sure, and maybe even a tornado. And speaking of tornadoes, our Torcon in this region is 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a location in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and just a little bit less than that as you head farther to the south across the Mid-Atlantic and the Deep South.
It's not only your drive time home,
right,
but it's also when the kids are worried about games and practices and things like that. So keep an eye to the sky today. Hey, LaGuardia is the first one down this morning. We know the weather's going to get worse as we move into the northeast, and we've got these delays. 2 hours? No, 1 hour and 2 hours and 19 minutes. I'm looking at it right now at LaGuardia. Inbound flights. The problem this morning there is wind. 22 to 30 mile per hour winds out of the east. Remember, I told you it is going to be a howling windy day today in the New York City area. When you head out in between those buildings, and it's still going to have that damp feeling even when it's not raining, for a while this morning, and you've got that line of showers that's moving through. Hey, it is 5 years since the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill. We now look into the Gulf, and the National Wildlife Federation is checking the health of dolphins. This is an important story.
It's more than the cloud. It's security and flexibility. It's where great ideas and vital data are stored. With CenturyLink, you get advanced technology solutions from a trusted IT partner, including cloud and hosting services, all backed by an industry-leading broadband network and people committed to helping you grow your business. You get a company that's more than just the sum of its parts. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
Shopping for the family used to cause a lot of stress between me and my budget. But thanks to Fingerhut, we have found our happy place.
Life is definitely sweeter.
At Fingerhut.com, we got approved to shop with low monthly payments, over 200,000 items with brand names like Samsung, Dyson, DeWalt, and with great family stuff like this Samsung TV.
And even our yoga mats.
All you got to do is click on over to Fingerhut.com and get the credit you deserve to get all kinds of great stuff for the family.
Fact. Advil is not only strong, it's gentle on your body too. No wonder doctors and patients have trusted Advil for their tough pains for over 30 years. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
Constipated? Dulcolax tablets can cause cramps, but not Philips. It has magnesium and works more naturally than stimulant laxatives for gentle, cramp-free relief of occasional constipation.
That works.
Live the regular life. Philips.
Oh, man. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Harry.
You gotta do it like this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, George. Hey, Jim. State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Sorry.
This is more than a lawn. This is a True Green lawn. Live life outside with True Green, America's #1 lawn care company. Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green, live life outside.
My goal was to finally get in shape, not to be focusing on my moderate to severe chronic plaque psoriasis. So I finally made a decision to talk to my dermatologist about Humira. Humira works inside my body to target and help block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to my symptoms. In clinical trials, most adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis saw 75% skin clearance, and the majority of people were clear or almost clear in just 4 months.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Ask your dermatologist about Humira, because with Humira, clear skin is possible.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures, and every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. 1 to 2 inches of rain expected. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 72. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Good morning, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jim Cantori in beautiful Greenville, South Carolina. 2 rounds of thunderstorms today. The first one in about an hour. The second one will be severe. That's the one we're really concerned about between 2 and 4 o'clock today. And we could have a possible tornado as well with this severe weather. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll watch it for you all day. Stay with us as we keep you safe from the storm.
Jim Cantori's on the road. We know you're on the road pretty soon from now. So anywhere in the mid-Atlantic all the way to the northeast today, it's a wet and rainy start. We'll also have a long line of storms, and we'll keep an eye on those. But let's look at the storms right now. Remember we told you LaGuardia was the first man down? Well, we also have Philly with some delays right now. Are they 35-minute delays, everybody at Philly, just so I make sure I get this right? 15 to 30-minute delays there in Philadelphia. A ground stop now at JFK, a ground stop at LaGuardia. The problem in these areas seems to be, as the rain moves in, a strong gusty wind as well. These ground stops at JFK and LaGuardia until 8 o'clock this morning. Now, these wind gusts have been in excess of 20 miles an hour, 22, 25 miles an hour through that area, so it's something to watch out, and just know that already we have some air traffic problems there. Hey, look at this little line of storms. It's making its way toward Bristol in Tennessee. Just left London, Kentucky, Knoxville. You had a round of them as well. There have been some lightning in these storms, and an awful lot of it. We're going to watch this fire up as it continues to shift a little bit to the east. This is winding down. It's losing a little bit of its juice this morning, but sunshine will get into the south, and we think there will be some stronger storms kicking up again later on today, just to give you the heads up on that line of storms. Severe storms dominate our forecast today because we've got a big part of the population area, Jen, in the east with the Torcon.
Yeah, that's right. And we're looking at some of those areas with torcons right around 4. We are talking to you if you're in Maryland as well as in Pennsylvania. But right now, we want to show you what's happening on the radar. Let me tell you, things are a lot quieter in the southeast than they were this time last week. But as we show you, we still do have a front we have to get through. You see that moisture moving through parts of the Great Lakes. Now, let's talk about what's happening for today. It's time for your big picture, and we're serving it up in a big way. Today, we're looking at the threat for severe storms as that front comes through. Now, the front's not going to pass through until late tonight, till tomorrow morning. But ahead of that, we are going to be looking at thunderstorms. Anywhere you're seeing in red, again, there's that chance that some of those could become severe. Here it is, widespread rain around. Some parts of New York, New Jersey could actually pick up about 1 inch of rain. And then the final part of our story, we're looking at the cold air. It's going to be returning to parts of the Midwest. And we are talking to you in the Midwest. These temperatures, Sam, are going to actually be running almost 10 degrees below average, potentially for the next 9 days, 10 days.
Yep. Get ready for the chill. Hey, Jen, today marks 5 years. It's hard to believe since the Deepwater Horizon oil rig exploded in the Gulf of Mexico. We need to remember that 11 people died in the initial accident, and then an estimated 5 million barrels of crude oil over 87 days pumped into our Gulf of Mexico. BP fines and compensation cost $42 million. NBC's chief environmental affairs correspondent Ann Thompson reports.
Bottlenose dolphins, the graceful denizens of the Gulf, and one of the enduring mysteries of the BP oil spill. As they have every spring since the spill, NOAA's Lori Schwacke and a team of scientists are counting dolphins and calves in Louisiana's Barataria Bay.
We've seen 2 animals today, both of which we expected to have a calf with them, and we haven't seen a calf, and so those are reproductive failures.
Far more have stranded, turning up dead or in great distress.
Stranding events usually last a couple of months, maybe a year, but this one has lasted 5 years, the longest stranding event in the Gulf of Mexico in recorded history.
1,068 dolphins stranded since the Deepwater Horizon blew up, 95% dead. In 2011 alone, the deaths were 5 times higher than the annual average.
How much faster are dolphins dying in Barataria Bay than the rest of the Gulf?
Well, in the area that was impacted by the oil.
Barataria Bay was inundated. A year after the spill, we were with Schwacke and her team as they examined the surviving dolphins, finding lung disease and adrenal issues.
They're certainly consistent with effects that you would see after exposure to oil. And we've looked at other potential causes, and we've ruled those out.
Such as a virus and toxins, two issues BP points to as possible causes. There are other wildlife mysteries. The oil temporarily tainted the waters where the endangered Kemp's Ridley turtles swim and eat. Some wonder if that's why nesting numbers in Texas that were growing before the spill are now plummeting.
When that trajectory changed and we saw the declines in 2013 and then in 2014, it was very disappointing.
BP suggests record cold temperatures may be to blame, but Shaver says that would not impact adult turtles. There is also the issue of coastal erosion. Oil pelicans struggled on Cat Island, then measuring more than 4 acres. Today, it is a sandbar. The oil hastened the erosion, but BP points to a study showing erosion rates returned to normal 18 months after the spill.
Ann Thompson, we want you to know what's going on in our Gulf of Mexico. We're going to talk to the head of the National Wildlife Federation.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you may find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
It's a profound statement.
But you're not even covered for this.
It's a profound statement.
Or how you may be covered for this, but not for something like this. Talk to farmers and see what gaps could be hiding in your coverage.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
It's gonna tempt your tummy with a taste of nuts and honey. It's honey of an old. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo XC60 today. Visit your local Volvo showroom for details.
There was a time in my life when doing anything physical was a real struggle. I had gotten so overweight. I wanted to hide from everything, from life. So I had to find something. And for me, the only thing was Nutrisystem. Nutrisystem changed everything. It helped me get healthy. I'm not just back, I'm feeling better than ever. I'm Marie and I lost 50 pounds.
It's the nationwide launch from America's #1 home delivery diet program, Nutrisystem. Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus kit. Lose 5 pounds your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist or your money back guaranteed. The results are amazing.
People will walk up to me and say, "Thank you, I lost weight. You inspired me." Do you know what? That means the world to me.
Nutrisystem has helped millions of people lose weight. The secret behind the science? The proper balance of smart carbs, plus healthy fats, plus lean proteins that helps you get smart, effective, and amazing results.
People ask me all the time, is the food good? Yeah, the food is good.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of specially selected meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes, and 1 week of Craving Crusher shakes, free. New food selections, plus call or click to lock in 2014 prices, and we'll even throw in free shipping. Act fast and get our NutriCurb free. Introducing all new NutriCurb, a breakthrough way to help control your appetite while you lose weight. NutriCurb works with your body's own appetite control mechanism to delay hunger signals to your brain. So instead of just feeling full, with NutriCurb you feel less hungry in the first place. Plus, get our new expert guides. You get all this, plus free shipping. Nutrisystem really works. Lose 5 pounds your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist, or your money back. Guaranteed.
Call 877-943-THIN.
Nutrisystem has been amazing. It's changed my life, and it can change yours.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. 1 to 2 inches of rain expected. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 72. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back. Here's a live view of the White House right now. 67 degrees, the rain coming down. And guess what? For today, we're going to see those temperatures warming up really nicely once the rain comes to an end. The problem is it's going to be a bit deceiving. You're going to think, wow, it's turning out to be a nice day. But the problem is the atmosphere getting energized for storms to arrive later on. So as we go from 9 a.m. to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it looks nice out there. But by about 5:30, we're going to start to see some storms lining up. And that is as the front is going to be approaching. And as it does, we'll be looking at these storms, and some of these could become strong. We are talking about a tornado threat out there, in addition to hail as well as strong winds. If you are across areas like Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, we're looking at torcons today of 4. This is something we typically see across parts of the southeast, but for you today, we want to make sure you are very aware of this threat. And then for eastern West Virginia and Maryland, you have torcons of 3, and that again means that tornado threat is possible.
Yeah, I grew up in Fairfax, Virginia. It's part of the D.C. metro area, as is Bethesda, Maryland, and we're pretty much to get some rain almost all day, and then there's a line of storms that comes up in the afternoon, and that's not the best news for Jamie Zindler and her family. Hey, Jamie, let's check in with Jamie, Logan, and Zach this morning. They're a very active family. Dad Ben is already at work, and the boys, both the boys have practices all afternoon. So Jamie, hi, I can see you both. We're giving you a big wave this morning, so nice to see you guys. So Jamie, where are we in the process of the morning? I understand you're holding off breakfast for the boys until, are they okay with that? Until we're done here?
Okay with that. We are, one's a little late for school so he can debut with you, and the other one's getting ready for school.
All right. I'm sorry, but glad, I think, at the same time, because it's kind of cool to walk into class and say, I'm so sorry, I was on television, I didn't have time to be with you this morning in classroom on time. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on this afternoon. Boys, what have you got happening? Logan, let's start with you. What's going on this afternoon?
I got an hour-and-a-half baseball practice.
Okay, so Zach, what's going on? What have you got? You've got 2 different practices, right?
Basketball and baseball.
Basketball and baseball. So do you have to carry gear for both? Are you kidding me? You gotta like wrangle that gear. That's a workout in its own.
Yep.
All right. So I got to tell you guys, I think that there's some storms in the area. And one of the reasons why, Jamie, I'm so glad you asked us for a hashtag #MyWeather is if those, some of that stuff that's going to be outdoors this afternoon, I really want you to watch out for these storms. They're going to get roaring this afternoon. Let's give you your forecast, and we'll kind of let you know what's going on. And then we'll talk a little bit more about breakfast, because I'm very curious, because I hear somebody likes soup for breakfast, which weirds me out. All right. So let's talk about 10 this morning. So school time, by the time you guys are in class, everything's fine. It's the afternoon hours, and I'm a little concerned about 4 o'clock all the way till about 8 p.m. tonight that those storms are going to be rumbling, so just keep an eye out. The ground's very, very wet. So the trees have been coming down, power lines have been coming down with those trees. There's enough lightning in the sky there to be an issue. So just stay inside, you know, until you got to go in from the car into the inside stuff, and hopefully practice will be inside. If not, outside, I wouldn't necessarily do it today. So Tuesday's a gorgeous sunny day. Wednesday, we line up for some storms again, and then Thursday, we've got a good partly cloudy day. Hey guys, who's the one who likes soup for breakfast? Please clue me in on this.
Me.
What is it about soup that makes it a breakfast food?
I don't know, just one day we had nothing here, so.
Jamie, your face was priceless right then. Jamie, your face said everything. You're like, seriously? There was a whole cabinet full of food you just wanted to see. All right, Jamie, thank you so much. Zach and Logan, thanks you guys for joining us this morning. Hashtag #MyWeather gets us into your kitchen and gives you your forecast for the day. Anna Rittis?
Sam, good morning to you at home. Let's start with your headlines right now. We begin with a tragedy in the Mediterranean. 700, perhaps as many as 900 migrants drown when their overcrowded boat capsizes 70 miles off Libya. One of the known 24 survivors telling authorities smugglers locked most people below deck Italy calling an emergency EU summit by the end of the week to review Europe's migration policies. Meantime, here back home, a large brush fire spewing thick black smoke into the air in South Florida. Miami-Dade Fire and Rescue says the blaze is under control after burning 300 acres. Smoke has reached South Broward County, some 40 miles away. And the quarterback without a team may have found a new home. Tim Tebow, reportedly, everyone's Tebowing in the studio, signing with the Philadelphia Eagles today. The Heisman Trophy winner hasn't played since the Jets cut him in 2012. We're going to continue to time out the severe storm and tornado threat along the East Coast today, plus people running for cover after a magnitude 6.3 earthquake rocks Taiwan. All of that and much more on AMHQ. We're live in Boston as well. We're live in the Mid-Atlantic right after your local on the 8s.
You guys, I think she's here. She's here.
Is that her?
No, Valerie said she's driving a Buick.
It doesn't look like a Buick. Buick.
Take a fresh look at Buick. It just might surprise you.
I'm outside. Where are you? I'm right here. I'm in the Buick. I don't see a Buick.
That's not a Buick. That's what I told him.
Wow. This is
nice.
Now get sign and drive leases across the entire 2015 Buick lineup. Like this Buick Encore for around $199 per month on vehicles in stock the longest.
If you're an adult with type 2 diabetes and your A1C is not at goal with certain diabetes pills or daily insulin, your doctor may be talking about adding medication to help lower your A1C. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Once-a-week Tanzium is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes, along with diet and exercise. Once-a-week Tanzium works by helping your body release its own natural insulin when it's needed. Tanzium is not recommended as the first medicine to treat diabetes or in people with severe stomach or intestinal problems. Tanzium is not insulin. It is not used to treat type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis and has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Do not take Tanzium if you or your family have a history of medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Tanzium or any of its ingredients. Stop using Tanzium and call your doctor right away if you experience symptoms of an allergic reaction, which may include itching, rash, or difficulty breathing. If you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe stomach pain that will not go away and may move to your back, with or without vomiting. Or if you have symptoms of thyroid cancer, which include a lump or swelling in your neck, hoarseness, trouble swallowing, or shortness of breath. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medicines you're taking. And if you're nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Taking Tanzium with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects with Tanzium include diarrhea, nausea, injection site reactions, cough, back pain, and cold or flu symptoms. Some serious side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney failure. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Go to Tanzium.com to learn if you may be eligible to receive Tanzium free for 12 months. Make every week a Tanzium week.
Habitat for Humanity of Palm Beach County is a nonprofit organization dedicated to bringing people together to build safe, decent, affordable housing to serve low-income and hardworking families in our community. You can help Habitat's mission through home sponsorship, monetary donations, volunteering, or by donating sellable household items and building supplies to our restores. You can learn more at habitatpbc.org.
As former firemen, we learned the key to doing a great job was to work well together.
It's also the key to making a great sandwich.
Take our turkey bacon ranch sub, pile high with smoked turkey breast, sharp cheddar cheese, creamy peppercorn ranch, then top with bacon.
Or try our hook and ladder light. Starts at just $5.49. Like all our subs, a perfect balance of ingredients working well together.
If only you and your barber could work so well together.
At least I still need one.
Please.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is a large and dangerous tornado.
That's why we get real local the moment you need it.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida.
Real accurate.
This is round one of the severe storms that are coming through.
From real experts on the ground.
That is a gust front for you right there in dusty Texas. Wow.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is basically what makes the Weather Channel
Keep the Weather Channel on.
Here at the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel is out in full force today.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. 1 to 2 inches of rain expected. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 72. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And 49 minutes past the hour, take you overseas. You're looking at some video of actually a strong earthquake. This happened in Taipei, Taiwan. One person is dead after a magnitude 6.3 struck just in the eastern part of Taiwan. Now, power company officials in Taipei confirm an electrical transformer inside a residential building exploded, killing one person and injuring another. And this is also the largest quake the city has seen all year round. And again, this one was actually, it has been reviewed. It was actually a 6.4. The earthquake's epicenter was about 11 miles off sea. And since then, within the last hour, they've actually had another aftershock. Right now, it looks like it's estimated to be roughly about 5.9. This one is on land. Earlier, they had reports earlier, we're worrying about potentially a tsunami out there.
And none was
reported.
Because it was offshore.
Because it was offshore. This one now, one of the aftershocks, is actually on land. But this is going to potentially continue. When you look at these strong earthquakes, you see these aftershocks, they just continue, sometimes for about a month.
That was a lot of damage in that area. Okay, millions of people from Florida all the way to Pennsylvania. We're all under the threat of strong to severe storms today. And our storm specialist, good thing we've got one, is in the house this morning.
Hey, lots of them.
Yep. Sam and Jen, thank you guys very much. That's right. We've got a shot at severe weather really all the way from the mid-Atlantic down to the Gulf Coast. So the East Coast, stay tuned later on today, could get a little bit more active. We have some showers and storms moving through the New York area right now. Those are not severe, but I think things will change later on today. Look at the area that we've got outlined all the way from southern Pennsylvania down to pretty much all of Florida, guys. So this is a kind of a pretty broad coverage of big storms we expect later on today. Right now, severe weather-wise, the map is pretty quiet. We've got basically some showers here, not severe, moving through New York with their own problems and delays at the airports as well. But we've got a line of showers here moving through. That is weakening across parts of eastern Tennessee. Good news, had some severe weather earlier. But this area, this sort of area right in here, east of the cold front, south of the warm front, that's called the warm sector. This is the area that later on today will support thunderstorm development because it's going to get more unstable. In other words, warmer and more humid. And in addition to that, we're going to have an upper level circulation moving through. There it is. You can see it swirling around here in the satellite pictures. Sometimes they're kind of hard to find. This one's pretty obvious. Not the biggest thing on the map, but it's going to be potent later on today because it's going to be moving out over that warm sector. And as it does, these little swirlies tend to lift the atmosphere a little bit and initiate the development of new thunderstorms, which I think we're going to see as it moves through there. I kind of highlighted it there. You can kind of see it. These are great things to pick out, by the way, in the satellite pictures because sometimes they can be very important in the development and evolution of thunderstorms. So later on today, we'll talk about energy. This is called CAPE, Convective Available Potential Energy. That's just a fancy word for how much buoyancy or instability is there for those storms to tap. Can they get really big and strong? We think it's at least at the medium levels here across parts of this region, so there's enough to support severe weather in terms of instability. The other ingredient that we look for in terms of support for severe weather and development of it is wind shear. The winds are often going to be pretty strong, but they're going to be kind of going at different speeds at different altitudes. So that can sometimes help sustain the convection or the thunderstorm activity and maybe even make it a little bit stronger with the possibility of some rotation in there. So we have those two ingredients overlapped right here across the East Coast. That is why we think severe weather is a pretty good bet later on today. Let's time it out now across parts of the, say, Ohio Valley and Northeast, 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Watch out for some of these guys. You know what? If they can remain isolated, I think they've got a shot at producing hail. That would be supercellular in nature and maybe even the possibility of a tornado or two all the way to the I-95 corridor through this evening. We've got torcons of 4, 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a location there, and it goes down just a little bit as you go farther south. 3 in parts of Maryland and West Virginia. Now let's Not forget about the south too, because look at all the speckled nature of these clouds, these thunderstorms late this evening. Cold pocket aloft is coming in. We're going to get pretty unstable. I think the threat for severe comes down just a little bit as you go into the south, but doesn't mean there won't be some. So stay tuned for all the latest. Guys, back to you in the studio.
Yeah, I'm looking at that graphic, and it sure does look like the East Coast, and you've got to think about right along the shoreline later on this evening. Enritis Rodriguez with the images you're bringing in. Some Boston pictures
Yeah,
first?
it's a big day in Boston. It's Patriots Day, Marathon Monday. Let's show you the first image coming out of Hopkinton. Nearly 30,000 runners getting ready to fill the start line there. This coming out of the University of Lowell Weather Center. They have meteorology students taking weather observations there right now. So that's one of the students, you know, with his instruments there taking observations, and they say it's going to be chilly. 41 and chilly at the start.
They're right.
Look at New York. If we head south on 95, it's raining there already. We have ground stops in effect that I must mention at JFK. It ends at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Also at LaGuardia. But even after the ground stop has been lifted, the delays are mounting, and we're seeing delays in LaGuardia of 139 minutes at least. Sam, good morning to your hometown.
Hey, hello, Kentucky.
Hey there, Kentucky.
This is
and
in
that's Hatfield. It's not too far away from where I went to school.
And the most important thing is there's no rain coming out of that photo. We're looking at clear skies, and they need a break.
Some fog in the hills and valleys. It's a beautiful Kentucky day.
Keep sending us those pictures. Hashtag April showers, especially if you're along the route in Boston.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be windy out there, too.
And remember, as soon as that rain, heavy rain starts around noon, so does the wind. We also have another day of severe storms that are firing up across the deep south. So coming up, we're going to talk to one family. Just imagine you do everything right. You take shelter in the house, and you can hear the storms going outside. And one of the giant trees that makes your neighborhood so beautiful comes crashing into your home. We're going to talk about it.
It's more than a network in the cloud. It's reliable uptime and multi-layered security. It's how you stay connected to each other and to your customers. With CenturyLink, you get advanced technology solutions, including an industry-leading broadband network and cloud and hosting services, all with dedicated, responsive support. With CenturyLink as your trusted technology partner, you're free to focus on growing your business. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
Our eyes. They have a 200-degree range of sight, which is good for me. Hey! And bad for the Barclay twins.
Take care of your eyes with Centrum Silver Women. Multivitamins with 60% more vitamin D.
Our brains can control over 600 muscles at the same time. Here's what 90 of them can do.
Take care of your brain with Centrum Silver Women. Multivitamins for the most important parts of you.
You can't always be there to protect her down the road. Make sure the tires she's riding on will. With the revolutionary Michelin Premier Tire, even as it wears down over time, its safety doesn't, thanks to Evergrip technology. The Michelin Premier Tire, safe when new, safe when worn.
I got red dirt stains on my boots and jeans, callous fingers from my guitar strings, wild like the wind in the tall pine trees. I got roots and I got wings.
I am never getting married.
We're never having kids.
We are never moving to the suburbs.
We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here.
In my knees.
But now, I step on this machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom-fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My knee pain.
Find a machine at drscholls.com.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures, and every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. 1 to 2 inches of rain expected. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 72. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Good Monday morning. If you're keeping track, it's Monday, April 20th, and it's amazing up in here because Jen's back. Hey, Jen.
Back.
She's back.
I'm in my office.
Take a listen to what we've got going on this morning. Yeah, that's the sound of pummeling hail. Arkansas, a pair of tornadoes Sunday. Hey, eyes to the sky again today. We've got a torcon of 3 in the Carolinas and a 4 a little bit north of that. We'll detail everything for you. Who's going to see hail? Who's going to see the lightning, the strong winds, and the storms? Atlanta underwater, or certainly in the dark skies. 53 days of rain. The wettest start to any year since 1891. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, 1891 was a wet year. How much longer will it last? We've got that for you this morning. It's Chicagoland. How about a cool down? Detroit, you too. Cleveland, get ready for it. Wet weather there clearing out, but then the temperatures across the Midwest and the lower Great Lakes will dip 5 to 15 degrees below normal. And I don't mean just for a day. I mean it's going to make a run of it. So we'll let you know how long that cool air stays. The Northeast also, Northeast, also under a severe weather threat. For more on that, in for Jim Cantori, Dr. Greg Postel.
Thank you very much, Sam. That's exactly right. You know, we got a shot at some severe weather in the I-95 corridor later on this afternoon and evening, extending into the mid-Atlantic. Look at this. 5 o'clock, guys. We've got some storms rolling from west to east. The air mass is going to be pretty unstable, and I think there'll be enough juice there to support some long-lived storms. Some of those could be supercells with hail and maybe even a chance of a tornado. Guys, so stay tuned for all the latest. Could be active later on this afternoon and evening. Sam, back to you.
All right, let's do an airport check because very early this morning, LaGuardia was the first man down, and then the other airports started having problems as well. So you can see there's numerous delays. Let's check them in this morning. LaGuardia had a ground stop out right until the top of the hour. There's still light rain in the area, but that's not the problem. The problem has been the winds, more than 20-mile-an-hour winds through the area. So 2 hours and 19 minutes, the current delay at LaGuardia. We have JFK delays as well. JFK, another area that just moments ago lifted that ground stop. But look at those east winds at 26 miles an hour. 30-minute delays at JFK. And there is nothing good about an east wind. It's what Jen Carfagno says all the time. And I tend to agree with her. Also, how's Philly going this morning? Well, Philly's got some very heavy rain in the area. Airport delays of about 35 minutes right there and some strong gusty winds as well. Basically, just check your air carriers this morning if you're into the Northeast because already, and the worst weather of the day hasn't even moved in with those storms and heavier rain, but already today we have delays. Detroit, good morning to you. Right now we've got cloudy skies, a south-southwestern wind at about 23 miles an hour. Detroit, 63 degrees is where we're going today. Just one of the Midwestern cities that will see a big cool down, and I mean a big one. Now you'll dip back into the 40s by Tuesday. The thing is, it's coming with beautiful skies though, so I think you're probably going to enjoy it. If I know you, and I think I do. All right then, New York, a rainy start to the week. As we mentioned, that torcon of 4 will be a little bit south of New York City. So the city is not involved in it, but there can be some storms that will work this way later on by tonight. So let's talk about it. Who has a torcon of 3? Who has a torcon of 4? Those are pretty solid chances of seeing strong storms in your area. Dr. Greg.
Yeah, I think so. And it's going to be later on this afternoon. It's kind of messy there and rainy. That's kind of just the early storms that are going to be moving through. But later on today, I think a bigger show moves in. Let's have a look at the area. Yeah, right. A big show of storms, right? And some of those could be severe, and some of those could produce hail and maybe even a tornado, as Sam was just mentioning, all the way from the mid-Atlantic down through the Gulf Coast. That's a pretty big area of the country, right? It's a lot of real estate. Right now, you know what? It's kind of quiet out there, relatively speaking, compared to what I think it's going to get later on today. We got some storms basically offshore here and moving through the tri-state area. But look at some of these right in here. These are weakening, and I'm not so concerned about them. I'm more concerned about the stuff that you can't see, right? Isn't that kind of always the case? Watch out for the stuff you can't see. But on the satellite pictures, we're lucky enough to have satellite because we can actually see some of the triggers now beginning to move in across the region. There's a swirly out here, guys. There's an upper level circulation that will help uncork the atmosphere later on. And that disturbance will be moving eastward across this region into an atmosphere that is going to be getting more and more unstable later on this afternoon. One measure of that is the dew point. When the dew point gets higher, a lot of times storms have more energy to work with. And I think that's going to be the case. It'll be in the 50s and 60s across the region. That's going to be enough today to support those big storms. So let's time it out now. You can see how that rain and shower activity moves off toward the northeast. But then new batches of storms roll in from the west. These guys, you know what? Some of these, the models are showing some isolated storms here. Methinks those may be supercells with the possibility of hail in them. Maybe even a tornado or two, because we have that kind of amount of wind energy aloft to support those kind of storms across the region, which is why our torcons are 4 across the region. 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a location in the Pennsylvania and New Jersey area. A little bit less the farther south you go. Perhaps the wind energy not quite as strong the farther south you go from there. Sam, back to you.
All right, the Garden State, the Jersey Turnpike, we're watching all those roads today for the wet roads in the morning and then the storms lining up again this afternoon. A torcon value of 4 in place for Philly today. The threat of some very heavy rain, some damaging winds, hail, and even some isolated tornadoes. That's a lot of weather to get you ready for, and our Reagan Medji is standing in the rain to do it this morning. Hey, Reagan, I know you're waiting to talk to people who are on their way to work today, but are they actually stopping to talk to you on the way in the rain? Because that says a lot. That means they love you.
Man, you're putting the pressure on me, Mr. Champion. Yeah, well, we're going to see how well we do on that one. So first, we're going to paint the picture here. We're right in front of 30th Street Station. This is where the Amtrak and SEPTA trains come in. And then you can see this is a row going on to 76 and 676. Very heavily traffic. You can see windshield wipers moving, and of course the headlights on as well. So we're going to come and try to talk to some people. I already kind of set up an interview with my buddy Matt. He goes to Drexel University. I, on the other hand, a proud Temple University graduate, but I'm not going to hold that against you. So, Matt, why are you out here standing in the rain?
Waiting for work. Commute to Balkinwood every morning.
Where do you work?
Global Indemnity Group.
Okay, so what do you think about this as starting your work week off?
It's not that good. I mean, getting wet. I don't know.
But it looks like you're prepared, right? What do you have on?
I have a rain jacket. It's actually my roommate's. But
don't have a rain jacket here yet?
No, I don't have a rain jacket, but he let me it, so worked out.
That's good, and you have your umbrella too. So I'll let you go. I guess this is your bus?
Yep.
Okay, let's swing the camera around, because look at all the people that are waiting to get into the rain. You got people hunkered down, dealing with trying not to get wet. And we got a gator person here. That's good. And then you got more people just trying to get their hoods up, get on that bus as quickly as they can. I'm going to drop my mic because I don't need it, because I got a lavalier. So this is what we're dealing with here. And of course, this rain isn't sticking around. I know my producer's trying to tell me to get out, but quickly, the rain's going to be heading out here around 10 a.m. And then it's going to end up, I have the microphone up, and then the rain's going to end up around 10 a.m. today. It's going to stop, and then throughout the day, it's going to be cloudy. Then the severe stuff is going to start around 6 o'clock tonight. Here's a little thing. If it stays cloudy, our meteorologists say it won't be as severe.
Yeah.
If you see that sun here in Philadelphia, watch out. Sam, back to you.
Reagan Medji live in Philadelphia. Hey, Philly, give her some love. She's a lovely lady. Just stop by and talk to her just like Matt did. She's very, very, very kind and gentle with the microphone. The sun is storm fueled.
She could
today
use some coffee right now this morning. I think so.
You could bring her some coffee too.
Yeah, we could. All right. Well, let's talk about the Midwest. People in the Midwest, you're going to be drinking that coffee because you've got a cool down on the way for you. As we show you for today, we look at Wausau, and actually you're going to be looking at snow in your forecast for today, 9 a.m. hour, and we go through 9 a.m. and already some observations across central parts of Wisconsin showing some of that snow out there. We're actually talking about the areas across central Wisconsin. And then as we look at the radar right now, here is our low. We have this area low pressure spinning in the Great Lakes, and that's why we're going to keep those clouds around. The cooler temperatures are really going to be felt by tomorrow morning. This is 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Notice you're going to be looking at 40s and 50s. Those are your afternoon highs, if you can call it that. Now we look ahead and we go through the end of the week and we kind of see the widespread rainfall out there. We'll still hold on to that tomorrow morning across areas like Wisconsin, but Minneapolis should be quieting down, but that cold air is going to be pumped in. It's going to be invading parts of the Great Lakes as well. Here is your forecast. Notice that these numbers are going to be well below where they should be for this time of the year. We're going to be right back with AMHQ. We'll talk more about severe storms. Stay with us.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 87. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Rainfall near an inch. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 72. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Nine minutes past the hour. So glad you chose to spend some time with us this morning. Let's make your Monday an awesome one. Let's get into Charlotte, North Carolina. You picked up about a record 2.65 inches of rain yesterday. So hello, America. Good morning to you, Charlotte. Cloudy this morning with storms developing later on this afternoon, and some of those storms could be severe. Well, anytime you're talking about severe storms, we also are mentioning Philly, by the way. I just need to say that. And it looks like threatening the East Coast all the way from Florida well up into the Philadelphia area. We're talking about some damaging winds, some hail, even some tornadoes are possible. So you think about storms, you think about Jim Cantori. I know I do. He's in Lawrence, South Carolina. And Jim, the weather's pretty good where you are right now. Most of the storms are off to the west. I can even see there's some sunlight to start your day. Good morning, Jim.
Yeah, hey, good morning, Sam. Yeah, eastbound, we're looking good. Westbound, though, I want to show you, you can see the tops of the line of thunderstorms. This is round one that'll be coming our way. By the way, Sam, I'm out here at this huge 3,000-acre Michelin test track out in Lawrence, South Carolina. And I'm going to go out on this track today, and we'll talk about tire and road safety. So I'm sure I'll probably wind up in some of that grass eventually, but we'll bring you back some great shots, buddy. You can see they're watering the track right now and making it a little extra slick just for the can man. How nice. Let's talk about what we got going on. First of all, here's the radar. Here's squall line number one, making its way across northern Georgia. We've had damage with wind in Cherry Log and in Ellijay, Georgia, because of these thunderstorms. So watch out in Toccoa, watch out in Anderson, watch out in Asheville as all this heads toward the east. Now, let's model this out. Let's look at the RPM model and model this out for you. So does a nice job with initiation. You can see that line coming into western North and South Carolina, northeastern parts of Tennessee. I told you to get that racing yesterday, by the way. And there you go. Watch it move off to the east-southeast, almost dissipate a little bit later on this morning. And then between 2 and 4, see that line from Charlotte down just to the south of Atlanta, actually right over us here in Lawrence, and then just to the southeast of Atlanta. That's the one that could possibly go severe, and that's why Forbes has got a Torcon of 3 to 10. Again, not a huge chance of a tornado, but certainly one that we'll be watching. It's the time of the year. 3 out of 10 chance is not a 0 chance at a tornado, but hail and wind will probably be our primary threats today across the Carolinas and into northern Florida. Wouldn't be surprised, certainly, if this area, as well as Florida, was in a tornado watch or even a severe thunderstorm watch a little bit later on this afternoon. So 2 rounds, Sam. We're going to try and get our shots in before then. But again, you can see this morning off to our west, certainly, the tops of some of those thunderstorms that are coming our way that I just showed you on radar. Yeah. It won't be long before we're perhaps doing this stuff inside. We'll see. Take it back to you.
Hey, nice shades, Jim. Really nice look. Nice look on the head there. And so wet surfaces and...
Belay, my friend.
Yeah, look at that. Get rid of the glare. Gets rid of the glare. There's Jim Cantori. You know, a lot of you have doctor notes that excuse you from work, and they say some kind of illness or symptom. Jim's actually says, please allow Jim to miss work today because he has to squeal cars around a test track. It's the note that we got this morning. That's the way it came in.
He's got to do that. Doctor's order.
He has to.
Doctor's order. He has to. All right, well, let's see what's happening across parts of the South. We're going to look right now at Florida, and look at this. This is our front, and looking impressive right there, and you see a lot of lightning out there. In fact, we actually had a new special weather statement that was issued showing and warning boaters about the winds. They're going to be gusting up to 40 miles per hour, as well as frequent lightning. And here's the proof right here. Right now, things look quiet across Florida, but as that front gets closer, we get that nice southerly flow coming in. We'll see those storms firing up. As we show you, this is 7 a.m. Pensacola, you're still getting hammered. Tallahassee, as we go later into the morning hours. And then 12 o'clock, we start to get some of these storms firing up as we predicted. As we go throughout the day, we'll see those coming in from west to east. And look at this for Daytona Beach. You're going to be looking at some rain and thunderstorms, and the same for Jacksonville right around the time that you are driving home. So that's 6 o'clock. And then we break it down for you, Tampa. You are going to be looking at thunderstorms really in the forecast possible starting from 1 o'clock all the way through the evening hours. Nothing wrong with your temperatures. You'll be in the 80s and the 70s. Of course, dew points are going to be up there. And then Jacksonville knocking on your door by 1 o'clock as well. And then 9 o'clock at night, you'll start to see those really starting to quiet down. So we're going to go from the west coast of Florida over towards the east coast. And of course, we'll be following that. And of course, we're looking at some of those Torcons as well between 3 and 4. Yep. Certainly are going to be watching out for this today.
Yeah, it's a little bit more powerful than your normal afternoon garden variety storms. Yeah, keep an eye on that. Anaris Rodriguez has all your images you're sending.
And it's already causing delays on the roadways. We're seeing a number of delays, especially on the Turnpike. The New Jersey Turnpike reporting flooding at the split at 322. Let's show you what it looks like in Virginia. Look at this picture of the rain coming down, causing some flooding. Oh, well, this is not that picture, but you can see the roads are wet.
You've got a little standing water in the intersection.
Yeah, that's at 395, and the DOT in Virginia is reporting 7-mile delays on 495.
Seminary Road and, yeah, 395, that is all that loop. That's the exit. Seminary Road exit always backs up right there. Well, they all do, but this one does particularly as well.
The rain keeps falling across the mid-Atlantic. Take a look at Pennsylvania. Is that, yes, we got it. It's the only morning it's going to be pouring all day in southeast PA. You can see their backyard.
It's Monday. Give us a break. We'll get our labeling correct. It's just taking some folks a little bit of time to wake up this morning. But in Pennsylvania, yep, it's going to be pouring all day. And that's true. And when it stops raining, it could even start storming a little bit later on.
And this is a shot from the marathon finish line. If you are headed to the marathon, you may want to go now because this is the time to snag the perfect spot. No one there, and you can see in the background all the way overcast skies. They're expecting some rain later on this afternoon.
It's going to be a little bit wet, more than a little bit wet on the course as well. We're going to take you to Japan because I want you to see something amazing. We say it's amazing out there. We believe it. We mean it.
I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Jack's heart attack didn't come with a warning. Today, his doctor has him on a bare aspirin regimen to help reduce the risk of another one. If you've had a heart attack, be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
Gone fishing. It's a sign that means we've locked up and headed off to do something we love. Luckily, there's an entire state dedicated to those little signs, with 19 million acres of woods. Gone biking, gone golfing, and the world's longest freshwater coastline. Gone rock skipping, gone sailing, gone wandering. Meet you on the playgrounds of Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
We all want that little black dress moment, that look good, feel good moment. But when you're overweight, it's more like little black dress. I don't even want to get dressed. I'm tired. My knees hurt. I'm not going up those stairs again moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm Marie, and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Now you can lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus. Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist, or your money back guaranteed.
You'll get perfectly portioned meals that are ready in minutes. So there's no counting, no measuring, no guesswork. Simple.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of specially selected meals. Plus, you'll get 1 week of energizing shakes free and 1 week of Craving Crusher shakes free.
This is your moment. Don't wait. Start looking and feeling great today.
Call now, 855-807-THIN, and lose your first 5 pounds fast.
So much food is going to waste.
How much of it is still good, and can I eat it?
The
challenge to survive for 6 months only on food destined for the dumpster.
The scale is pretty shocking.
Following the film, join Tom Colicchio to learn how together we can stop the waste. Just Eat It, Wednesday at 10 on MSNBC.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Flonase Allergy Relief. You are greater than your allergies.
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. This changes everything. New Flonase outperforms a leading allergy pill, so you will inhale life. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. Most allergy pills only control 1 substance. Flonase controls 6, and 6 is greater than 1. So roll down your windows, hug your pet, dust off some memories, make new ones. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 87. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Rainfall near an inch. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 70. 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Minutes past the hour. Welcome back to AMHQ. I'm Dr. Greg Postel, storm specialist, with a look at the severe weather chances today. Let's go right to the maps because we've got a pretty broad area that extends all the way from the Mid-Atlantic down to the Gulf Coast. That area shaded in red. We're thinking the primary hazards would be high winds and hail, potentially large hail, but also there's a possibility of some tornadoes later on today. Let's look at the map right now because you might think, where is it coming from? Because the map is not really that detailed or complicated right yet. We have a warm sector out there. That's this area, south of the warm front and east of that cold front, where later on this afternoon, the air is going to get more and more unstable. So we're not seeing any severe weather technically right now. We don't have any warnings out there, but I think that's going to change. Now here's why. We got a big swirly out there and a little swirly inside of the big swirly. Here's the big one, right? You can obviously see clouds moving around all over the place. The one I'm interested in is that guy right there. This is a upper level circulation here that is going to be moving eastward out over the air mass, that warm sector, that is going to be getting more unstable later on today. The dew points are going to come up. They're reasonably high now, high enough to support some big storms, but they're going to get a little bit higher and the temperatures are going to come up. That's enough instability, I think, for the severe weather that will eventually develop, say, in the early to mid-afternoon hours. Western Pennsylvania, West Virginia, maybe even Western Virginia. Look at some of these storms right in here. Some of these guys could be severe as they rotate their way through the region and get to the I-95 corridor by 8 or 9 o'clock. We still may have some big storms, maybe even some severe storms to deal with through the late evening hours in that New York to Philly down to D.C. area. So stay tuned, guys, for all the latest. We have torcons of 4. 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a location up that way in Jersey and parts of Pennsylvania. The numbers come down just a little bit, but there's still a chance of a tornado or 2 in parts of Virginia and West Virginia. Torcons of 3. Let's not forget our friends in the south, because I think we'll have some big storms as we go through the late afternoon and evening hours. See the speckly nature to that? What that tells me is that there's a lot of cold air aloft, meaning that I think we will have some of that instability leaking farther to the south here as well. Maybe not the tornado threat that we have farther to the north, but stay tuned. You cannot rule out the possibility of a tornado where we have torcons of 3 across this region. 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a location that goes from North and South Carolina all the way through central Georgia. Sam.
You know, Dr. Robots are taking all the cool jobs, and we've got proof of it in the 3 stories that you want to share with your friends today. So I always thought I would be a great superstore greeter. You know, the guys that go, "Hi, welcome to the store, come on in." Well, a Japanese department store has unveiled its new greeter. It's actually a lifelike robot. I'm not kidding. Dressed in traditional Japanese clothing, she can smile, she can sing if you ask her to, I guess, and even talk. She has several programmed facial expressions, disappointment being the main one. No, they don't show disappointment. Toshiba actually developed the technology behind this robot. Osaka University built it, and so far the robot can only stick to the program script, but one day they want her to answer questions like Siri or Cortana. But can you imagine? Hi, can I just ask you, robot, have you ever seen a rash that looks like this, and do you have anything to take care of it? Or why aren't I more popular? Questions like that. I just wonder if you could just, I
can see some bad ways this could go.
You should hear me with Siri in the car. Siri, why aren't I more popular? All right, my niece loves Minions. She does. She's getting her master's degree and still she loves them. These Minions are from the movie Despicable Me, and they're getting their own movie out this summer, and now they actually have their own color, Minion Yellow. So we saw this on Gizmodo. Paint companies, you know, and publishers all depend on something called the Pantone system. So to be a color, you actually have to have an official Pantone color. So to get colors to match, every once in a while, Pantone comes out with a brand new color, and the first one in 3 years. So thanks to Pantone, you can paint any room in your house Minion Yellow. Just be careful. Use it. Don't use it liberally. Just be very careful with it. Hey, this video is incredible. We showed you this. Might make you a little bit nervous for the folks who go to visit. 62 feet high, those walls of snow in Japan. And it's a major tourist attraction. There's snow canyons that all the tourists kind of get to see if they can take pictures in front of them. It takes 2 months to carve them out of the Japanese Alps there. They're 13 feet higher, just a little tidbit, than last year. So if you're going, this is a good year to go. And don't worry about it. They actually stay there. You can go see them all the way through June. So if you're thinking, oh, I need to book that flight, well, you've got till June. Hey, let's send it over to Jen for the Farmer's Forecast.
Yeah, you know, and they get that sea enhancement, and that allows for all that snow to pile up there. Well, let's talk about an area that really needs some water. We're talking about California, and the drought is getting even worse. Some farmers are forced to actually change what they're growing. A company called Grass Farm, or a company that grows grass called Garden Access, is actually having to basically stop growing sod in place of growing peppers because it actually requires less water to grow the peppers. We'll be right back on AMHQ.
Farmer's Forecast, powered by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
Who needs a witness when you set the world in motion? The full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City. Purpose-built to help you run the town. Ram.
We're here today asking kids what their favorite vegetable is.
Kids?
Now we're going to give those same kids Bush's baked beans. And finally, we're going to tell them that Bush's baked beans are actually a vegetable.
Ixnay on the vegetable bay.
Oh, right. Bush's secret family recipe gives them a delicious flavor, so they're a vegetable that kids actually like.
Bush's baked beans. Try our new brown sugar hickory.
It's more than the cloud. It's security and flexibility. It's where great ideas and vital data are stored. With CenturyLink, you get advanced technology solutions from a trusted IT partner, including cloud and hosting services, all backed by an industry-leading broadband network and people committed to helping you grow your business. You get a company that's more than just the sum of its parts. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
Fact. Every time you take Advil liquid gels, you're taking the pain reliever that works faster on tough pain than extra strength Tylenol. And not only faster, stronger too. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
We have a lot of mouths to feed.
Fortunately, PetSmart has a wide assortment of foods for us to choose from.
Any types of food for dogs who are afraid of spiders?
PetSmart has all sorts of food choices, like Royal Canin, breed-specific nutrition to help you stay true to your breed's unique needs, because pethood needs a partner.
The more you learn about your insurance, the more gaps you may find, like how you may be covered for this, but not for something like this. Talk to farmers and see what gaps could be hiding in your coverage.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Are you missing out on life because you're putting off neck or back surgery? Call Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery, to learn how a less than 1-inch incision can have you up and walking within a few hours of surgery, free from chronic back pain, and with no hospital stay and no lengthy recovery. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic conditions, call today for your MRI review.
There were times my boss would send me home because I was in excruciating pain. Going to Laser Spine Institute, I go in, I have the procedure, and walk out a changed person, good to go back to work. I can't tell you how much happier I am. It's changed my life completely.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 1-855-450-BACK for your MRI review.
Laser Spine Institute, a less than 1-inch incision, a lifetime of standing tall.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 87. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Rainfall near an inch. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 72. Winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 86. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.